Hello and welcome back. My name is Sadisteck. In this video, I want to discuss Play to Own, the Crab tokens, and the Elemental Enchanter, which is under the Prediction tab. So, starting with Play to Own. This is Cryptant Crab's version of introducing new players to the game and letting them play for free. When you create an account, you are given these free crabs right here. Well, yours will vary from mine, but yeah. And you are allowed to play with them for free. Now, you don't quite own these crabs. If you scroll down, there are some missions that you can complete. Once you complete those missions, you are allowed to mint 2 of these crabs for free. Now, of course, there will be gas fees, but those are pennies at worst. Now, I have noticed, and other players have pointed out, that all the mercenary crabs you get are in between 5 and 6 GP. I have yet to see one that is a 7 GP, or higher. But anyway, you also get the option to mint the other 2 at 30% off market price. I'm not exactly sure what they take for market price, because if we go to the shop, we can see here that the price changes consistently. So maybe this is the market price at the current time, and in a few hours it might be different. Who knows? Anyway, back to the mercenaries. Now I believe once the time expires and you can no longer mint them, the mercenary crabs leave your inventory and you have no more access to them. Except for the ones you minted, of course. Now I don't want to spend too much time on the mercenaries because if you look up here, there's only about 136 left to be minted. However, I do want to point out, when I first started playing the game and all this was new, there was only 1,000 mercenary crabs that could be minted, and they have since upped it to 2,000. I really wasn't paying attention the whole time, so I have no idea when or if they announced why. Alright, moving on, I want to talk about the crab token. So real quick, the crab token is an ERC20 token. It can be used for a multitude of things throughout Cryptant Crab. And while looking up information for the crab tokens for this video, I discovered this bit of information. Essentially, when the tournament does come out with an ETH prize pool, you will have to use crab tokens as your entry fee. It is good to keep this in mind. You will need crab tokens at some point in time if you plan on battling for the ETH in the tournament. Now, the other things you can use the crab tokens for are binding fossils, purchasing Cryptant in the shop, refilling the stamina of crabs so they can battle more, and creating a prediction ticket in the Elemental Enchanter. I'll talk about that in a second. But the ways to earn crab tokens are through the arena, through your 7-day login bonus, and by straight up buying it on Uniswap. Now, tips and tricks for buying it on Uniswap are simple. Up here you'll see how many crab tokens you actually own. You can click the plus button and it'll pop up with this little notification. At the very bottom it'll give you the crab token address. I suggest you copy that. And then you can click the Uniswap button. It will open Uniswap in another tab and it'll pop up with this notification, letting you know that crab tokens are not traded on the leading US centralized exchanges or frequently swapped on Uniswap. And of course it says always do your own research before proceeding. You can click I understand and it'll take you to this page. Now, if you haven't connected your MetaMask to Uniswap yet, you can go ahead and do that. Now, if you would like to buy crab tokens, you can come over here, select the cryptocurrency that you want to spend. I'm just going to stick with ETH for now. And then you can put in the amount you like to buy. Now let's say I wanted to sell some crab tokens. You would switch the ETH to crab. You can either click the recent searches. I'm not sure why there's 2 of them. I know this top one is crab tokens. But you could also simply paste the crab token address that you copied from the Cryptant Crab website before you came here, just to double check and make sure you're selecting the correct crab token. And it will automatically switch to ETH. You can then change which crypto you want to be paid in, but for now, I'm going to leave it as ETH. Now just to do a price check, I like to see what selling 100 crab tokens will do. And that will net me roughly 4 cents. Okay, moving on. By far, the most complicated aspect of the new Cryptant Crab Prime is the Elemental Enchanter. I've played with it a few times, and honestly, I'm not a huge fan of the whole attempted gambling thing. It's not really gambling, it's more of a prediction, but yeah. Since there is skill and information based on it, it's not technically gambling, so. Anyway, so the prize pool is comprised of how many people have made predictions. And if we scroll down, we can see right here, this is how to play. You predict which element will have the highest win rate. If your prediction is correct, you will contribute enchantment points to the elements. The element with the highest enchantment points will be boosted in the next arena. So down here at the bottom, it'll tell you how many of each element of crab is battling currently. But the prediction table takes the percentage of their wins versus how many are battling. So when you click Predict Now, the top will ask you which element to choose for your enchantment points. This is essentially asking which element do you want to be boosted next arena. Let's say I want metal to be boosted. Now this is completely separate from your actual prediction thing. This is just where you want your points to be applied if you are correct. Now the ticket down here, what you do is you select which order you think the elements will perform in. For example, let's say I think earth crabs have the highest win rate. I would select earth there. Then it goes down the list. Next, I think, let's say metal will have the second highest win rate. I would select that. Third, let's put spirit. And fourth, let's put water. And finally, they're asking you which team do you think will have the highest win rate. I'm going to go with metal and spirit. And this would be my ticket. It would cost me 300 crabs for me to enter to try and win the prizes. That being said, you can join many times. I believe the maximum times you can enter on this one ticket is 30 times, but it does cost an extra 300 crab token each time. Now how these work are, if your first answer is correct, you gain points based on that. If your second answer is then correct, you will gain more points. Your third, even more, fourth, and so on. If your first one's correct, you'll gain those points. If your second one is wrong, it stops there. You will gain the points for the first one, but not for anything after that. Now, if your first one is wrong, but everything else is right, it does not matter. As soon as you get one incorrect, the points stop. I hope I explained that clearly. Yeah. Like I said, the prediction table is something I have not played too much with, but I did research a bit of it before starting this video. Okay, so back here on this page, you can scroll down and see the previous results to get an idea of what you should be thinking about. This is the current round. Metal was the element that won all the predictions. What is this button? That's interesting. That is very interesting. Metal received 3,709 prediction points. Fire element received 1. Earth, spirit, and water all received 0. Okay, I was not expecting that, and this is the first time I've seen this page. Or this little chart. So, back on topic, yeah, you can see the winning combination and how close they were. They're all within 70 to 76% win rate. And this is just your history. I didn't make any predictions, so yeah. And the crab battle count. So, let's look at a previous arena. Alright, I'm curious to see what this says for this one. 100 and... Okay, that is very interesting. It's not as big as a gap as the last one, but it's still a massive gap. Okay, so everything else is still similar. We can see the winning combination. I want to go back a handful, just for the sake of fun. Let's go to 15. 1,058. Okay, so it's, again, more spread out, but yeah. Still one overall overwhelming winner. Alright, anyway, that should be all for this series of Cryptant Crab Prime. I guess this is a how-to or just information video, or series now. But yeah, I might make another video on things I wish to see happen with Cryptant Crab or things that I want them to implement. but I might simply take a break from making videos for a while. So yeah. All right, y'all have a good night and enjoy.